Sup, fuckers, Accolonn here, and welcome back to a brand new speculation series. Now, the plan for today was to do a video on Gahun, and then I realized, well, it doesn't make a lot of sense without giving you what happens before. So, everything that's taking place in my mind as we lead into Battle for Azeroth. So I decided to do a series rather than just jump in with random videos. So we're going to start what I consider to be the beginning of Battle for Azeroth. For those of you who don't know, at the beginning we had the Broken Shore. That's how Legion started, and something took place on the Broken Shore. The opening scenario, according to the Alliance, the Horde abandoned their king and led to the death of King Varian Rin. Now, of course, if you watch the Horde side of it, you know that the Horde was overrun and they were standing to lose their entire leadership base, right? So the Horde didn't want to abandon King Varian Rin. It wasn't some elaborate plan to set up King Varian Rin for death, but that's how it played out. Now, since then, tensions have been rising, enough so that it wasn't the factions that joined one another in the battle for essentially saving Azeroth from the Legion invasion. No, it was the different classes that teamed up. The classes started their own class order halls, and through this method, they could set aside their factions and just focus on being part of a class and working together to try and defeat the Legion. And all of these class order halls then came together and defeated the Legion once and for all. Alright, so since then we've had a number of things leading up to the intro of Battle for Azeroth, and then of course going beyond that. But before we get there, we have to look at what led to Teldrassil. Now, while Teldrassil is not going to be up for debate in this video, it's not going to be part of the speculation in this video, it will be perhaps the next one. We'll look at Teldrassil. For now, we have to look at how we got there. What happened for us to finally end up with the Horde attacking Teldrassil, and then of course moving on to Undercity. Alright, so if you are a long-time viewer of the channel, you will know that one of my favorite whispers is, "The Boy King serves at the Master's table. 3 lies will he offer you." Then, of course, that whisper have led to multiple speculation videos based around who is the Boy King, who is the well, actually, we've never done who is the Master, but we have tried to discern or tried to figure out what the 3 lies might have been. Now, in terms of the Boy King, we've gone from Khadgar, which was the most unlikely suspect, to Magni, to Bolvar, and then finally to King Anduin Wrynn. We left him for last because he was the most obvious choice. And based on speculation, how speculation theorists think, we generally don't want to go to the most obvious one because that's too easy. Although right now I think anyone who says, "Mate, that's too obvious, Blizzard is just toying with us," need to remember that these whispers came out at the beginning of Legion. It is 2 years later and finally Blizzard is confirming. If Blizzard kept their cards close to their chest every single time, never revealing anything, the story would never move forward, because Blizzard can never reveal something because then it would just make things too obvious. So we're gonna settle on King Anduin Wrynn for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it makes the most sense, he is the king. Secondly, because Blizzard continuously refers to him as the Boy King, right? So we have no reason to doubt at this point that he is the Boy King. And then of course we get to the second part of that, the Master. While we've speculated around who the Boy King might be, we've speculated around who the Master might be to the point where it might be the Void or it might be the Light, we've never actually considered a third option, because those are the only two that we generally speak of when we go Masters. It's either the Light or the Void. It might be the Foul to some extent, but even that I'm not entirely sure of. But I'm gonna link the Foul into this theory anyways, because I think it just might make sense. One of the biggest problems with linking Anduin to the Void or to the Light is that nothing else makes sense. It's very difficult to go from there into a lie, into understanding what this lie might mean, right? So it just becomes very fucking difficult. That said though, I think we've been looking at this wrong this whole time. I don't think Il'gynoth was speaking about his master. He says the Boy King serves at the Master's table. 3 lies will he offer you. And a big shout out to Pyromancer on this. While we were talking just before the live stream, the last live stream that me and Pyro did, Pyro actually made mention of something that I've never considered before. If Il'gynoth was in fact speaking about the Void, he would not say that 3 lies would be offered, right? Why would he do that? According to the Void, they don't lie. They tell the truth all the time. just as far as they're concerned, there are multiple truths. A lot of things can happen. According to the Void, it's mostly down to choice, not really down to cold hard facts. The Light, of course, deals in cold hard facts, and just one choice could ever be the correct one. But what if Il'gynoth was speaking much more directly? So he wasn't speaking about some master of something, but rather someone who is in fact a master in his own right. That, of course, would be Spy Master Shaw. Now, we see Spy Master Shaw show up during the epilogue cinematics where King Anduin Wrynn is addressing the people of Stormwind. Now, multiple people have made remarks as to the way in which he moves. You can hear his footsteps, for example, which is very weird considering he is a Spy Master. They generally move around with zero noise whatsoever. If you make a rogue, for example, and you go into stealth, you quite literally cannot hear any footsteps. It's not like any other character where you run around. They are quiet as fuck, right? So you can hear his footsteps, and then also a lot of people said, but Gain Greymane actually noticed him long before he was there. Right? So before he was even next to Gain, Gain knew that Spy Master Shaw was behind him. And a lot of people said, well, Gain could be, it could just be that he is a wolf, of course, and therefore he has heightened smell, heightened senses. But then you must ask yourself, what good is a Spy Master if, you know, the first sight of a Worgen just completely fucks him over, right? I don't necessarily adhere to all of these beliefs and all of these theories, but it is interesting to note. I still think that Spy Master Shaw is in fact Spy Master Shaw. I don't think he has been swapped around once again. Those of you who played the Rogue Order Hall questline will know that we go and save Spy Master Shaw. Spy Master Shaw actually knew that the Broken Shore intro scenario was a trap. They wanted us to go there, right? So he knew, he wanted to warn them, but he was captured by the Legion, and then we go and we save him during the Rogue Class Order Hall. First question we need to ask ourselves is, what happened to Spy Master Shaw from the time of his capture all the way to when we saved him? In my mind, I find it highly improbable that the Legion would have such an important character. Now think about this. The Alliance rely on Spy Master Shaw and his SI7 agents in order to get the information they need to make their decisions. Both King Varian Wrynn and King Anduin Wrynn rely on their expertise, the information that they bring us. There's even Datamined spoiler text in the Battle for Azeroth client that shows that they rely on the SI7 to infiltrate the Horde cities, to give them information, feedback on what the Horde is busy with. So they rely very heavily on the SI7, once again lending credence to the information or to the speculation that Spy Master Shaw is in fact the master being referenced by Il'gynoth. He was speaking much more directly, and I believe a lot of the whispers from Il'gynoth might actually make sense when we actually take it by its literal meaning, instead of trying to figure out some elaborate scheme of misnaming and kind of, you know, trying to keep the veil up. Just does make sense if you just go literal and say, okay, this is what they actually talk about. Now, of course, just to lend further evidence, or at least give you a little bit more of a push into why I believe Spy Master Shaw may have been corrupted, and why he is the master that Il'gynoth is talking about. Anduin Wrynn, when Spy Master Shaw wants to hand him the Azerite, Anduin Wrynn looks over to Gain Greymane. Now, a lot of people said, well, that just shows you the respect that he has for Gain, and the love that Gain has for Anduin. Anduin knows that he can trust Gain literally without limits or bounds. Wrynn would never lie to him, or Gain would never lie to Anduin Wrynn. Now, it could be something else, of course. It could be that Anduin is asking the exact same questions we are. What the fuck happened to you when the Legion captured you? Are you even Spy Master Shaw? Is it really you? Have your mind been twisted and turned by the succubi of the Legion? We know that the Legion is very, very good at this. I mean, they managed to corrupt an entire fucking Titan. Corrupting a mortal would not be that difficult for the Legion. Now, this might be exactly what Anduin is doing. Anduin really doesn't know whether or not he could trust Spy Master Shaw. Now, if we believe that Spy Master Shaw was in fact corrupted during his capture in the Legion camps, this of course leads me to his first lie. We don't know. When Anduin Wrynn asks Spy Master Shaw, what is this? when he has the Azurite in his hand, he has this intense reaction to the Azurite, and he asks him, what is this? And Spy Master Shaw replies with, we don't know. Now, why would he reply with this? Because he has a plan of his own. He knows where he wants to go, he knows what he needs to do, and for this to happen, the Azurite, or at least the potential uses of Azurite, cannot yet be known, right? So, he needs Azurite for now to remain a secret. He doesn't need it to remain a secret for long, just long enough for his plan to work the way that it should. Because while Sylvanas might make use of the Azurite, whether she knows what it is or not, I don't think Anduin Wrynn would. If he knew that this was the actual blood of the Titan Azeroth, I think Anduin Wrynn would strike an accord with the Horde. He would call for a peace treaty so as to not continuously exploiting the planet. Right? This is the kind of man that I think Anduin is. I think Spy Master Shaw knows this. And you might actually argue that even if his mind wasn't twisted, remember Spy Master Shaw never actually saw what happened on the Broken Shore, during the Broken Shore scenario. He only saw the aftermath. King Varian Wrynn is dead. The Alliance believe that it is the Horde that killed him, that offered him up, so to speak. We know that Game Greymane would not put in a good word for Sylvanas, even if it meant sometimes just omitting the truth. Which means that in his mind, the Horde needs to pay for what they have done. Now, of course, none of this makes sense unless, of course, we venture into the second lie. Now, we know that during the Datamined spoilers, during the text that we have there, that Anduin is instructing SI7 agents to infiltrate Orgrimmar and all of the capital cities of the Horde, trying to find out exactly what the Horde is busy with. So Spy Master Shaw knows exactly the plans of the Horde. He understands what the Horde wants to do. Now, while the next video might very well be the lead up to Teldrassil and what might have pushed Sylvanas into this, all we need to know now is that Spy Master Shaw knew well ahead of time that Sylvanas is going to be at Teldrassil. Spy Master Shaw would know exactly what happens at Teldrassil and why this takes place. Now, very, very quickly, what could possibly be the second lie? Now, if we believe that Sylvanas directly bombed Teldrassil, then of course Spy Master Shaw does not lie. Once more, that was pretty much his first lie, if you can even call it a lie. Spy Master Shaw simply tells King Anduin Wrynn what happened at Teldrassil. But if we believe that someone else bombed Teldrassil, then maybe the only thing Sylvanas wanted to do was pretty much take over Darnassus. That's all she wanted to do. She wanted to invade and annex to Darnassus. She didn't have any reason to blow up the tree, and then someone else blew up the tree. But Spy Master Shaw decides, hold up. If I tell Anduin Wrynn that it was Sylvanas that blew up the tree, then we would finally put an end to this Banshee Queen of the Horde. Now, of course, I could quite literally just be lying, and all of this could just be made up. That's the whole point of speculation. What is the next lie? What exactly is Spy Master Shaw's position and role in all of this? I believe that Il'gynoth was more direct with that whisper. I think he was actually speaking about Spy Master Shaw. It is at this point the only master that makes sense. None of the other masters even fit into this, right? The void and the light, to what end? And why would they lie? Now, you could argue that Anduin serves at the light's table and that 3 lights will be offered to him by the light. But we've seen zero evidence of this. Ogmod says that the first lie has already been told. Perhaps the next one will notice, right? So if the first one has already been told, we've seen zero mention of the light whatsoever, then what the fuck could it be? I believe that it can only be Spy Master Shaw. That's my final answer on this. Spy Master Shaw is the master referenced by Il'gynoth. His first lie is that they don't know because he has a bigger plan in mind. And then his second lie is what happens at Teldrassil. But we'll get into what happened at Teldrassil and what could possibly have gone wrong there in the next video. And then if you like this video, if you like videos like this one, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comment section below, guys, because this is a discussion. It's a conversation between the two of us, me and you, the one guy sitting at the opposite end of this fucking camera. Me and you, we have this discussion. we need to figure out what the fuck is going on. I need to hear from you. What are your thoughts? What do you think is happening here? Guys, if you're not on the Discord already, that's where you should be. Because these theories, these speculations, they're born there. This is where they're birthed. On that Discord. And for $1 a month over on Patreon, you get exclusive access to the council meetings, where the council takes these things a hell of a lot further, where we go even deeper into it. For everyone else, the Discord is still there. There's a lot of lore discussions going on there. There's memes, there's art competitions. Well, not art competitions just yet, but there is an art channel that I've just created after filming this video, which means you can share your art, share your memes, share your general spam, or take part in the lore discussions. Whatever you want to do, that is the community that I'm trying to build. So come join me over on Discord. To all of the patrons over on Patreon, thank you so much for your monthly contributions. Thanks to you guys, this channel is made possible. You already get all of the perks that is available on Discord right now, with more perks coming as soon as I get any. I promise you guys that you as the patrons will be the first to reap the rewards of any and all perks. And then guys, as I said, for $1 a month, all of the Discord perks at least can be yours. And then to all of the people over on PayPal that keeps donating to the channel every single month, thank you so much for those donations. It does mean the world to me. Thanks to you guys, we're able to build up the system. We're able to get this system into a workable state where I can push out as many videos as humanly possible. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. To everyone that wants to support this channel a little bit more directly, links is always in the description down below. If you want to support this channel but you also want something out of it for yourself, then head over to Teespring. Any of the shirts on your screen right now, including some of the new ones, could be yours today over on Teespring. Guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Accolonn, and as always, I will see you guys very shortly with some more World of Warcraft news. Bye bye guys.